Call the meeting of the fiscal court to order. Welcome, everybody, this morning. We have several guests. Quite a lengthy agenda this morning, not real bad, but we'll try to get through it in timely fashion. Melanie is not here today. Of course, I think all of you know that Mr. Kenton Holland passed away. Mr. Kenton was on the city council for 40 years or more here in the city of Benton, and a dear friend, and he will certainly be missed. So Melanie and Brian are attending that funeral this morning. Mr. Brian Cutzinger is asked to appear before the court this morning. What brings you before this honorable body, Mr. Cutzinger?
Oh, gosh. I need a new roof.
Okay.
I've spoken with the judge a little bit, and the big issue I'm kind of facing with our building's 26 years old. We spend several $1,000s every year patching a place here and patching a place there, and we've had a couple roofing contractors look at our roof, and everybody tells us that your roof needs to be replaced. It's 26 years old. It's never had any sort of new roof put on it. It's just been patching here and there. Most of the, I got a copy of the quote and stuff here for everybody. I sent out a request for quote for 3 different roofing contractors, and I only received one back. They gave us 2 options that we could do. For the roof. The first option was very similar to what we have now. They would basically remove the gravel ballast off the top of it, replace put a layer, I believe it's 0.45 mil on there of the, I believe it's EPDM roofing. They would put it on there, put new capping and stuff on it, and then replace the gravel ballast back on it, reusing the existing gravel. The second option there, I believe, is a little bit better roof, because they would look at adding another inch of insulation, which for us would be beneficial. The roof system we have now, during the summer when the temperatures are 98 to 100 degrees, our building sometimes gets in the 80s inside with air conditioners running wide open. So it gets, during the summer, it gets kind of warm. So I feel that the extra inch of insulation would definitely help. The roof that they're looking at putting on there is a little bit thicker, and it's fully adhered. And what that would mean is they would not reuse the existing gravel ballast. That roof would just be the flat roof. It would not have any gravel on it. One of the perks of that is that if we had any maintenance in the future on it, the labor cost would be a little bit cheaper, because they wouldn't have to go up there and shovel spend some of their time shoveling the gravel off to be able to fix the place. All the quotes include putting new drip edges and stuff on there. They did put an option on there for new gutters and stuff, new gutters and downspouts for the building. This is not something that's extremely urgent, like it doesn't have to take place tomorrow or the next day, but just for the court's consideration in the not too distant future, I believe that we're in kind of need for a new roof for our building.
Well, I think probably, and the cost to install new box gutter and downspouts would add about almost $2,000 to the base bid, which is $10,972.
Yeah, that's for the first option. There should be two different quotes on there.
The first one's like 13 plus.
That was $13,000. Is that the one you're looking at?
That's the one where they add the extra inch of insulation
Yeah,
to the
okay.
roof.
Okay. Now, when we say, and I'm in agreement that we need to do this, Brian,
could we hold off until our new budget
Sure.
and put
Sure.
this
I
in
mean,
the new
as
budget?
of now, we just had some repairs done last
Yeah,
month.
we need
Yeah.
to.
Be good.
We had some, we just had some repairs done, so right now, I mean, our roof isn't leaking at
Yeah.
all. That's why I said, it's not something extremely urgent that has to take place, next month or anything, but
What
just,
about- We talked about our doors too, Brian. Do
I've
we
only
need-
received one quote for the garage doors. I'm still waiting on a couple others
Okay.
to get back
We've got a
with
problem
that.
with our doors as well, and I told Brian to get us some figures on that. If there's no objection, we're working on budget now and try to include this in the new budget. I think everybody agrees that this needs to be done. So let's get with me and Emily as we work on the new budget and get this
Okay.
included.
Okay?
Sure, sounds good.
And try to get those, estimates on the doors, Brian, as soon
One
as
of-
you
one of the
can, 'cause
big-
I know you're having a problem.
One of the
with
big
those.
things I run into with the doors is I've contacted 3 different companies and everybody's given me a different opinion of what we need. So, I mean, I'm no garage door expert, so I'm kinda stuck as to where I don't really know what our best option would be as far as taking it, but I'm still waiting on the other 2 to get me quotes. I've only received 1 as of now,
Okay.
but I'll definitely look at those and, try to get something to you guys in the near future on that.
Okay.
I have a question, Brian.
Yes.
Originally, there was discussion of you all being co-located with the hospital. Is that completely out of the question now, or is there
I
still
haven't heard
discussion
any,
about?
they have not discussed anything with me about that. I know they're looking at building well, they're looking at getting an MRI machine and building a new building for that. So as far as, from my perspective, I haven't been told anything about it or had any discussions or anything about it. So to my knowledge, I haven't heard any, I don't know where they stand with that.
We asked, Commissioner back, when they were building the hospital, if they would consider doing that. We even, got some negotiations that we would be willing to assist in that, and they declined. So I haven't heard any movement on their part to do that.
I haven't either. They haven't brought anything to my attention.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Brian.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else here to address the court? All right, let's move into correspondence from Mediacom. So, Dear Judge Miller, on or about April 15th, Mediacom will be dropping G4, currently on channel 168, from the Digital Plus tier in your community. I don't have Mediacom. Can somebody tell me what G4 is? Do you know, Tracy?
I have no idea.
Anybody?
Gaming channel.
Well, anyway, the gaming channel.
Well, not like casino gaming, but.
Well, we're against that. I mean, oh, well.
Sports, kind of sports and games, sports and games.
Sports and games, okay. So, anyway, they just wanted to let us know that they're dropping that from their Digital Plus tier. So, make a note of that. All of you have received the minutes of the March 6th meeting of the fiscal court. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of the meeting?
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. In old business, the gun range survey, I think finally, Russell, you got a hold of the county surveyor and
James North, he contacted me and he said they'd be in the process of doing it.
Okay, so we are moving on that. We'd like to get that accomplished. Jeff, have you had an opportunity on that watershed issue?
Yes,
to talk
I've
anymore?
spoken with Kyle Odell, and we've got some other issues we're dealing with, and I'm gonna be meeting with at least Kyle and the state, or the state engineer, in about 2 weeks. So I'll finish that up then.
Okay, all right. Is there any other old business come before the court? Any other old business? All right, let's move into new business, the hospital, and apparently, some time ago, we purchased a Ford Taurus, is that correct, Emily? For the hospital, and what they would like to do is sell it or trade it, but they would need authorization from the court to sign it over to them. They've had it all these years. I don't recall when we did this.
I really think that it could have been a car that was purchased for the PVA office, and then we didn't need it, and it was reassigned to the hospital, because on the
Okay.
top of the title, in Tim's writing, it's got PVA up there. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that may have been what happened. I don't know when the hospital acquired it, but
Well, what they would like for us
You
to
need a
sign
motion
off.
for you to sign the title?
Yeah.
I make a motion, Judge, sign the title over to.
All right, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carried. What would I say?
Thank you.
All right, next, we did advertise for a bid opening on a 3/4 ton truck for the road department. We have, I believe, 3 bidders. The advertisement in our paper of record, the Tribune Courier, says the Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting bids on a current model 3/4 ton pickup truck. All bids must be submitted to the Marshall County Judge Executive's office by 9 a.m. March the 18th, 2014. Specifications can be picked up at the Marshall County Road Department Monday through Friday. For more information, contact Russell York or Jeff Jaco. The Marshall County Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. Our first bidder is Country Chevrolet of Benton. Country Chevrolet agrees to sell the enclosed specified truck to the Marshall County Road Department for $27,616. For additional information, contact Matt Ross, $27,616. And I'll have to have Russell look and make sure they meet all of our specifications. The next bid is from Leon Riley Ford, North Main, Benton. Leon Riley would like to respectfully submit a bid of $22,850 for a 2015 Ford F-250 with the attached specifications. This is from Todd Solomon, Leon Riley Ford.
Did you spec diesel? Gas.
From Parkway Chrysler in Benton. We appreciate your invitation to submit a bid. The vehicle would be ordered with specifications and would be available for delivery in approximately 8 weeks. Our bid price is $28,741. The apparent low bidder will be Leon Riley Ford, but Russell, I'd like you to check before the court takes any action to make sure they meet the specification. From the Possum Trot Sharp Fire Protection District, we have their audit. I have looked over it. This is from Kim Ham, the CPA. And I would entertain a motion to accept the audit of the Possum Trot Sharp Fire Protection District.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. As most of you know, our board president of the Marshall County Library Board recently passed away. Pete Wolf. Pete had been on the board for some time. Pete had retired from the Kentucky Department of Transportation. And we have a letter from the Department of Library and Archives, the Education Workforce Development Cabinet. It says, due to the death of Board President Peter Wolf, we hereby submit the following names for your consideration in filling the vacancy on the Marshall County Library Board of Trustees, term to expire August 1st, 2015. The names that were submitted are Jim Ely of Wadesboro Road South, Benton, and Thomas L. Blankenship, 319 Wood Trace of Benton. Either of these, I'm sure, would be good board members. Do y'all have a preference?
I know Jim Ely. I mean, he'd be a good fit, I think, but everybody's got a different idea.
Well, then with your approval,
But
we'll nominate Jim Ely for that position. Do I hear a motion?
Make that motion, Judge.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll need to contact our librarian sometime today and let her know so they can take care of that. We have the Refuge District budget for FY 14-15. We ask that the departments get their budgets in prior to April 1st, and they took action on this the 11th day of March. The FY 14-15 budget is for $2,464,500. They have covered just about everything, it looks like. You work with them on this, Emily, are you satisfied with the budget? The difference is $341,000. They've done a good job in holding their costs down. I would recommend that we accept the proposed budget for the Refuge
Motion to
Department.
accept, Judge.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
So it's 341,000 less than that.
More.
No, more. Last year, Lord, it was $2,123,500, and this year it's $2,464,500. Our jail budget, and our jailer is here, and he also, I believe, is asking approval of his policy and procedure manual. Is that correct, Roger?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Our budget for the total jail fund for FY 14-15 is $2,184,820. Now, Roger and I met, was it yesterday, Roger?
Yes.
Yesterday, and talked about this. Of course, our amount of state prisoners, a lot of our income depends on our state prisoners getting our Class Ds and housing prisoners from other counties. We are down on both. We keep hoping, Roger sends, we send the van far and wide trying to pick up prisoners to house them for the state because we get paid on a per diem basis. And hopefully that's going to pick up a little bit. They closed some of the private prisons, and we were very hopeful that it was really gonna pick up. However, part of the problem has been they're paroling these people quicker than sometimes we get them, come all the way from Eastern Kentucky with them, and a week later, they're paroled out. So, you know, we have no control over that, but they've done everything they can to hold down our cost. You know, we have to feed them 3 times a day. We have to take care of the medical expenses. It's not a real cheap operation, to be honest with you.
So it's gonna be more than last year, too.
Pardon?
So it's gonna be more than last year.
Last year it was $2,153,500. This year, $2,184,820, a difference of $31,320. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion, Judge.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Mr. Ford, would you like to make any comment about your policy and procedures?
No, sir, actually, there's no changes in it this year.
No changes.
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion to approve the policy and procedures of our keeper of the keys, Mr. Roger Ford. All in favor of the, second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay. Our animal shelter report, animals in the pen as of 1/31/14 was 53. Animals brought in by wardens, 24. Animals brought in by citizens, 44. Total animals taken in was 68. 42 dogs, 12 cats, 12 puppies, and 2 kittens. We've adopted 44. We have 1 in foster care. Animals reclaimed, 9. Animals euthanized, 5. Animals in the pen, as of the end of February, 64. Our adoption fees were $1,525. We just continue to get a lot of animals. Not sure where they're coming from.
Bus stand, I think.
I think you're right, Terry. All right, we have a budget amendment. This is ordinance 2014-02. We have increased revenues and increased expenditures. So I'll need to go through those, right, item by item. I think it'd be best if we did. The increased revenue accounts, bank tax, 25,000. Excess fees from the clerk, 47,000. Excess fees from the sheriff, 203,063.65. Fireworks inspection, $25. Animal shelter donation reimbursement, $337.12. Spay neuter grant, $1,650. The Jack, the Aurora Park Fund, $8,000. Insurance reimbursement, $16,189.54. Commonwealth of Kentucky Splash Pad grant, $70,000. FEBCO refund, $5,792.70. Goldberg Simpson refund, this is Fleetwood, $5,000. Remember, that's the money we sent 5 and the city sent 5, trying to resolve that issue. Marshall County Emergency Responders reimbursement, $493. Water District Generator Grant, $5,570.50. Arts Commission drawdown on their loan, $174,747.74. State-funded paving projects, $275,000. Truck license distribution, $13,000. CRA FY13, $123,575. What exactly is that?
It's our county road aid.
Road 8, okay. Coal severance, $28,168.79. Insurance reimbursement, $4,367. Jail phone commissions, $12,000. Water Vision grant, $10,542.44. FEMA reimbursement, $9,861.80. Water District Generator grant, $111,346.43. That's a total of $1,150,730.71. Our increased expenditures, the sheriff's equipment grant, $125,000. Remember, we authorized the sheriff to buy some cars from his excess fees. GIS repairs, $16,189.54. Animal shelter donation reimbursement, $1,000. Animal spray neuter, $1,650. Water District Generator, $116,916.93. Special group contribution, $4,000. County Parks General Supplies, $493. Day Use Parks TVA, $10,000. Aurora Park Supplies, $8,000. Arts Commission draw, $174,747.74. State-funded paving projects, $275,000. Road Department Parks and Repair, $4,367. Water Vision Grant, $10,542.44. Nuisance Ordinance, $10,000. General Reserves, $216,080.27. Road Reserves, $164,743.79. Jail Reserves, $12,000. Total increased expenditure, $1,150,730.71. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes. This is approved of the fiscal court on the 18th day of March, 2014. What's your pleasure?
Motion approved, Judge.
Have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Treasurer's report, Miss Emily.
Here's one more copy too.
Okay.
As of February 28, 2014, general fund had a book balance of $1,780,176,071. Road fund, $566,116.78. The jail fund, $23,529.01. Grant fund, $65.26 87. 911 fund, $179,499.79. Occupational tax administrator, $3,028,443.53. Veterans van fund, $1,189.95. For a total of $5,585,482.64.
You've heard the report of the treasurer. I'd entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Motion approved, Judge.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Accounts receivable.
As of February 28, 2014, the sheriff's office owed the payroll fund $213,544.67.
Okay. And this, again, this is normal. We fund the sheriff's office until such time as their taxes come in, and then we get reimbursed. This is normal for all counties, that they kind of take care of the sheriff's department to help them with their operation until such time as taxes come in, and then we settle up and reimburse. Entertain a motion to accept the accounts receivable report.
Make that motion, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Mr. York, have you had time to review your bids?
Yes, I'd like to recommend go ahead and take the lowest bid, Leon Riley Ford.
You've heard the recommendation of our county road superintendent. What's your pleasure?
Motion approved, Judge.
Have a motion to accept the low bid, which is Leon Riley Ford, Benton, Kentucky. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. I have one matter for personnel matter for executive session, if I could hear. I'm sorry, Bob.
I got one thing that I just want to bring up.
Well, why didn't you bring it up before?
Well, I thought I'd wait.
Oh, you thought you'd wait? Okay.
Hardin, community building, their tables have gotten in really bad shape, and they still use that. People get in there for showers and that sort of thing, and they're just in really bad shape. I wondered if we could get TIC to look at that. I think there's about 10 or 12 8-foot tables. I think they're the vinyl or plastic-like tables
Yeah.
with the metal legs and chairs. They were wanting to look at possibly getting some tables and then maybe getting a rack to set them in, the rolling rack. They just kind of lean them against the walls. They'd like to get them so they can maintain them a little easier.
Sure. We just need to get tech between now and the next meeting, kind of get us.
Kind of look and see what kind of.
So we need chairs too, Bob, or
They
just tables?
talk like they did. He can look at them, but I think they'd probably be better if we looked at chairs also.
Okay. Make a note for me to get with tech. We'll try to look that over, Bob, and have a report back at the next
Appreciate it.
meeting. Yeah, the last time they had an event down there was
Yeah.
Miss Hurt's 100th birthday party, and I noticed some of them were getting in pretty bad shape.
I don't remember, I was down there at something and they had tables out and if they don't cover them with something, they're just really rough.
Yeah. Okay.
I have one thing, Judge, too,
Okay.
that way, if anybody needs to leave. On Saturday, I was out at the Refuge, and we were taking some items off to the back area where you drop bulk items. And when we pulled up, two gentlemen approached our vehicle and offered to help offload. which they did. And when we first pulled up, we noticed that they were actively working in the pile of things that were already dumped. And I assumed they were employees. So.
Scavengers, right.
Well, they load up an entire pickup truck mounted with scrap metal and take it down to Gamble Recycling. And they say that they do it all the time. So, but it goes back to the question that we talked about before. They're saying, which in this case, I watched them do the opposite, but what they're saying is that they solicit people before people offload, which makes it not county property. So I wasn't really sure what to say to that. I contacted the sheriff's department. They really weren't sure whether or not, that was an issue, but I don't think you could solicit on county property anyway, so what would the,
No, I don't know. I do know we have trouble not only there, but at some of our stations. People coming in and scavenging, I guess you call it scavenging,
Right.
I'm not sure, but, let me see if I can get, the board chairman in here at the next meeting, we'll talk
Okay.
about it. And,
because I
because,
didn't.
I've seen people out there, getting old furniture and stuff that I guess could be used, which if somebody can use something, I'm not talking about selling it, I'm talking about use it. I
So
don't
it's
have
like,
a
where do you-
problem with it, but it's.
It's like, where do you
but it-
draw the line though?
Yeah,
Because-
you've
yeah.
gotta have some policy procedure there.
Because,
that.
it was mounded,
Yeah.
and at $200 a ton, that's a lot of money that could go back into that
Yeah,
department,
recycling program,
so.
sure. And that was on a Saturday?
They say they do it all the time. He acted offended that I even questioned him about it, but that's a lot of scrap metal, and now that they're recycling, they had a lot of other things too, but I don't know, it just,
Okay, let me look into that and
Okay.
get somebody here. Okay, anything else?
that's all I have.
Let's go in.
Motion on
Go in
executive session.
Executive session, second. We'll try to be brief.
Call the court back into regular session. One of our personnel who does the cleaning here at the courthouse, it's our understanding is gonna be leaving our employ. We've been shorthanded, so it was the recommendation that we hire Florence Darnell to fill that position. Will come in on a temporary basis, or what did we say, under,
Under 100 hours, so we're gonna stay under 100 hours?
Part-time, temporary.
Part-time, probation, be on probation.
probation, probation, that's what we were, probationary period. And that we also look at another person, and Emily's going to check into that, to be a temporary fill-in, on call only. Is that the way we agreed to?
Yep.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
Make a motion, Judge.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. You've had an opportunity to review the bills. Do I hear a motion to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills,
I
Judge.
have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other business?
Judge, since John is here,
Yeah.
we had an issue, I had a question, and since you're here, would you mind?
No, that's fine.
You could probably answer it for me.
Sure.
Saturday, there were people out digging through stuff at the Refuge, and they were mounding up scrap metal and taking it and recycling it. What is our policy on that, and are people allowed to just go, because I didn't think that they were.
They are not.
I didn't think so.
No. During the week, I have a full crew, Monday through Friday. We keep people out. Now, on Saturday, I have one worker. He does his best to keep people out. He's got other duties besides just that job. If he catches them, he makes them leave. And he mentioned to me that he saw that truck leaving as he was coming back from he was doing something for the Refuge. And as he came back, he saw it leaving. He said these are certain people. He said he knows which ones to watch for. And he's been trying to do his best to keep them out. But it looks like we're just gonna have to try a little harder.
Oh, they tried to tell me that they felt it was legal, which is why I was asking Jeff. They felt like it was legal if they caught someone pulling in before they offloaded and asked their permission to have it. But when we pulled up, they were actively going through it. So I wondered can they do that? Can they solicit for people
Not
to?
if the board says no.
We explicitly have signs that say no scavenging. We have those
Right.
posted all over. They just try to take advantage.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
They try to use any excuse they can to do what they can. And that's why if we're there, we're gonna do everything in our possibilities to keep them from taking stuff that actually belongs to the county.
Well, that's what I was telling Judge, that was $60 that you all could have put back into your budget, because they just loaded it up and took it off, and then when they said, well, we're asking people, before it's ever offloaded, I thought,
And they think that that's something they can use to their advantage. It is not.
okay,
And we've tried to let that be known too. If it comes here, anything now, we've even amended it now where it used to be, we didn't want them to get the metal. Other things we were lenient with because it was just keeping it out of the landfill. They get to the point where you've just got to be firm, and we're just saying 0 tolerance on scavenging.
could we get no soliciting signs for you all? Would that be helpful if we had
I
something to
could
where?
talk to, John Henderson can print us up one. And
I
can put that
thought
up.
since that's the way they were trying to circumvent, maybe that might be
Right,
helpful.
just don't, just let the public know, don't give it to,
I
and
thought
as
they
I
were
said, they came
employees,
to
yeah.
you, they didn't, say,
Yeah.
hey, we do not work for the county, but
Right.
can we have that?
Right, they
yeah.
said, can we help you offload? Sure, so I just wanted to make sure that I understood the law, because once he said that, well, we're getting it before it's ever given to the county, I thought, I don't know the answer to that.
I think
so-
there was a time, correct me if I'm wrong, we talked about that earlier, when someone brought in used furniture and someone needed it,
We tried to do it
that
right.
we tried to do, be helpful, but it got to the point, they were just going through everything, so.
They would use that as their foot in the door to get other
Yeah.
Everything.
things, so,
Okay,
yeah. One
Well-
person, it takes just one person to ruin the whole,
exactly. Well, I wasn't sure. I thought the soliciting thing was a good little angle on that, so I thought I'd check and see, because I didn't know what our policy was, but that might help.
And we try to we have the blue container, and we try to tell people when they come in to know, come pull to this blue container, that's where the metal goes.
Gotcha.
And we definitely keep people out of it. It's got high walls on it, so it take a lot more effort for them to get it out of that than just going into that open.
That big dump pile.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Motion adjourned.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned.